Hey everyone, this is WobblyWallaby. Today I'm going to discuss which classes I invested the most zeny and BCC into this year for PvE, PvP, and farming in Ragnarok Mobile. I play lots of classes because I love this game, and I also release tier lists periodically, but which classes do I truly believe in and why? Stay tuned for all the details. First is PvE. Klitzberg is the best PvE class in the game because she can hit critical stats very easily and hits crazy hard. I also like that she can easily hit the ignore defense targets since penetration percentage adds to ignore defense due to the passive Blossom Tea. That makes it ideal for unlucky people like me who struggle to get good morale and chance. She also allows me to speedrun instances very easily, which is great for helping carry others. I used to use Ronin and invested a lot into the MDef build, but Klitzberg is just more flexible since she can elementally convert to anything, and she's much easier to hit the critical stats compared to Ronin. This is my elemental build overview. I have a full guide in the video description. Next, this is my shadow equipment and relics. This year I attempted to refine my time of birth to 15 but failed many times. No luck this year, but maybe next. After losing hundreds of millions of zeny, I did give up. I did spend quite a lot of BCC investing in Era of Fire Seed, which is one of the best in slot relic for PvE. The damage increase is huge. My demi-human increases at 89.5%, so that burst is huge when it activates. This relic was one of the biggest damage boosts this year in my PvE builds. Next, I also invested in Skeleton Bracer tier 5, which helped my Klitzberg stay alive with an extra anti-fatal. This is definitely worth the investment. Next, memory equipment also helped a ton. I am aiming for 2% attack, MDef percentage, and final damage for all 3 of my memory equipment slots. So far I only got 1, but I do plan to do the same for my other 2. With Klitzberg, completely ignoring defense is easy in PvE, so you're definitely able to activate the final damage bonuses. Besides memory equipment and the weapon, I'd say my Klitzberg is in a pretty good place at the moment in terms of investment. Next is PvP. Many people have asked about PvP guides, but I didn't really invest in PvP much in the past. This year I decided to spend hundreds of millions of zeny on my Jormungandr, who I believe to be one of the most unfair DPS classes in the game. It has an enormous range, is able to hit super hard, has powerful AoE, and can also steal buffs from players. So hopefully with a better PvP class I can enjoy it so I can actually make some guides about it. Now the reason I was able to invest in Jormungandr was I was able to snap the plus 15 weapon, and after that then I began investing in everything else. Here's my gear overview that I use for my GVG events. I decided to go to the freezing route since it's cheaper than the poison build. I don't have any zeny for the poison build yet, so maybe that's something I'll try in 2025. Next, I did invest a lot into my magic shadow equipment this year. It's hard to get the refined 15 gear on global, so I tried my best to get plus 12 where I could. I used to not invest in magic gear much, especially for shadow equipment, but these days I feel it's great for PvP and also for evaluating new classes that are magic based for PvE. Next, pouring Ice Cube is definitely the MVP in this build since it causes frozen targets to not break their freezing effect. Then combining this with Stormy Night card to ignore freeze immunity. Then also when I get hit by physical attacks I have the Garm to freeze the enemies. Next for face I use the aviation goggles for even more increased range. Jormungandra's range is already huge at 9, so this adds even more. If I'm not in GVG, I'll use the Illusory Light Mirror for the auto attack damage. Next for mouth, Voice of the Ocean is great for more auto attack damage and having some reduced damage. If I'm outside of GVG, then I use Shape of My Heart for the auto attack damage. Jormungandr has been doing well and I like the ranged playstyle. Previously I was using Ronin and Klitzberg casually, but it wasn't that effective. I will continue investing in Jormungandr in 2025 and hopefully make some PvP guides later. Next is farming. I invested a lot into Lightbringer farming this year. This is the best endgame farming build capable of getting the most zeny per day, and there's also the added bonus of getting the magic gear fuel to craft important alloys and stones. Here's my gear overview. And next, here's my shadow equipment and relic. Mistress Star card was a big investment. It's not mandatory since it's very expensive and likely won't pay off, so feel free to buy shells and farm instead. Next, Arcane Codex at Refine 15 is a nice to have. They did reduce the arm cannon skill delay anyways, so the impact of this is much less than before. Even without getting the cat buff, which I previously hated doing, the skill delay is quite low. If you want to invest in an endgame farming class, I'd highly recommend it. The results are better than my Stella Hunter and Gunslinger. I do have 2 guides on this, which I'll put in the description if you want to check those out. We'll see if these classes will change next year. ROM always releases new classes and power creeps old ones, so maybe I'll be completely different next year. But in the meantime, if you're interested in which classes to invest in, I definitely recommend the 3 I mentioned. What classes are you investing in 2024? Let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's the video that I'd recommend, and if you want more Ragnarok mobile guides, check out this playlist over here.